Night Studios podcast. I'm in the building with Kelly Kaufman, comedian from the San Francisco Bay Area, but she's from a lot of places. SF to be more exact, man. I think she took the 92 over here, the 880.
I drove, but sure, yeah.
Okay, one of those two bridges she took, man, to get over here. Thanks for coming on.
Oh my God, of course.
I think we talked about it. I think we met at like the beach a while ago during the beach comedian thing, which was cool. It was like my first comedy comedian like hangout. Remember that?
I was so confused. I thought you were talking about something else for a second, that you went to the beach today with a comedian. I was like, what? You're talking about my thing.
Yeah. It was your thing.
I did a like I put a little like comedian. Is it okay to like talk to the camera, or is that weird? Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I did a little like 4th of July non-patriotic comedian hang at the beach. Emphasis on non-patriotic, just like an excuse to hang at the beach. You know, comedians. It was very hot. It's so cool that there are beaches in San Francisco, you know, like blows my mind.
That there's beaches in San Francisco?
Yeah, I don't know, like, because it's like a city and there's like a beach there. It's like
it is random. It is random, right?
Yeah.
It's such a city metropolis. Like when you think of New York, you don't think of like the
that's
nice
where I'm from.
Beaches.
So that's exactly how I
probably
feel.
What it is, like Chicago or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's a guy peeing and then there's a beach. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
what?
totally.
San Francisco is pretty cool. And I seen that. Well, I don't see that from your New York, but I see that you went there back recently to New York. No,
Yeah.
Was that okay? That looked fun. I don't know why. I have like a super fascination with New York, just because like the hustle and bustle, the people moving. It just seems very fun.
Yeah, you know, I grew up there. I'm from New York City, and I feel like my relationship has really changed with the city only in the last couple years, because I had like a pretty like rough time growing up there, actually. Like my mom was a single mom, and we went to private school on financial aid, and I was like exposed to like the worst people in humanity at a very young age, going to like a New York City private school on scholarship. So that really like framed a lot of my experience of New York City, and having like undiagnosed mental health issues combined with that, you know. So now when I go back to visit, because my family's still there and I also go there to do shows and stuff, it's like I'm starting to see like New York with fresh eyes now, you know. I'm like, wow, this is like a really incredible city.
Absolutely.
Like this place is so cool, you know, which is awesome.
So you have to leave it to kind of appreciate more growing up in it, you're saying, or because it's so crazy just growing up around in it? Or?
I feel like it's a combination of leaving, but also like healing. Like I've gotten a lot of mental health treatment since leaving. I feel like if you're not mentally stable, like anywhere you live, even if it's paradise, is going to be like clouded by what's going on in your mind. Like your mind will make any place ugly, like if you're fucked in the head, you know.
Which is wild to me, because I've only been in the Bay Area, and I feel like I got to a point in my life where I don't really like feel like I could even maybe want to go. I'd be down to go, but like I really don't have an issue with the Bay Area. But it's funny because like there's this football player for the San Francisco 49ers, and he just lost a kid from like a birthing with his wife, and they decided not to renew their contract because they just want to leave San Francisco entirely, and they just said it reminded them of the traumatic.
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting, because you meet a lot of people that have trauma in certain areas, and it just relates to those areas, like The Pursuit of Happiness. That guy thinks of the Bay Area. Do you know about that movie? The Pursuit?
Yeah, I was like a kid when I saw it, so I don't fully remember. But
but it's a great
true
movie.
story.
It's a true story about
crazy.
a struggle, which I like, but he struggled in the Bay Area, and like the dude was just like, yo, I hate the Bay Area. Like,
Yeah, no, I
I have a hard time
understand.
going back, you know.
By the way, you can't hear my nostrils breathing in this, can you?
I'm not sure if I can.
I'm like really self-conscious of that right now. I don't know if I should
do have-
lower
I'm a
it
big
or.
nostril breather too. It's crazy. Hold on one
Okay,
second. All right,
because you know when you're on the phone and
Sorry.
no worries. I'm on TV. Look at me.
I'm gonna edit that out, but the aircon wasn't coming on, and I was dying.
Oh,
Okay.
no worries.
All right, yeah, because it's funny what you said
I'm
about.
figuring out about the breathing. Like, should I have my nose like up here? You know, like. I also
know.
have
Let me give it-
anxiety, so I have to breathe. I have to breathe a lot. I have to I guess this is me. I can't hide it. You're gonna hear some breathing on this show. I have a lot of conscious breathing I
I'm
have to
jealous
do.
if I hear nose breathing, because that means you just got good breathing. You're not struggling to breathe. There's no asthma going on.
It's taken a lot of work. My therapist has like taught me how to properly breathe. Like a lot of people don't know how to properly breathe.
No, I'm that. 'Cause
Yeah.
When I do a lot of video editing and I hear my nose breathing, so I know exactly.
Okay, well
and
now
I'm
I'm gonna be
shooting.
really cognizant
Then
of
I
it.
shoot. And I'm a big nose breather. Like I feel like I have breathing problems just hearing back. Like, so this is gonna be a clip of the nose breath determining, because that's important.
Okay, I'm down. I'm for it. Comedy is about being vulnerable and not hiding yourself, so.
And nose breathing is real. People are like, no, I'm serious. Like when you
Yeah.
when you do content and you hear your nose breathe, you're like,
On the phone is the worst, though.
oh my gosh, the heavy nose breather.
Yeah.
Clouds.
Yeah.
The speaker would,
Yeah. Yeah.
That
My
kills
mom
it.
is like that. It's kind of cute, though. I'm like, Mom, you gotta, it's really annoying. We'll be like on we'll be on a lot of three-way calls, like with health insurance or whatever. And she's like heavily, because I'm not an adult, okay? I'm a millennial. My mom
an
does
adult.
everything for me.
You're an
So
adult.
we'll like call health insurance together, because I don't understand. I'll just they'll be explaining shit and I'm like, what is Cobra? What is
I'm glad you feel the same.
non-deductible? What is my mom will be translating for me on the phone.
How do you feel,
Kelly, that's what that means.
How do you think I feel? I'm Asian. I think I'm like, it feels really good to see you're struggling with it, because I'm like, Mom, I don't know.
I
You know.
can't imagine. Yeah, did you not grow up in the U.S.?
Oh, my mom didn't. I was first one here. So Mom was pregnant on the plane, trying to sneak
that's
a
fun.
baby. Yeah, and then so they struggle a lot. So it's funny when
Immigrant parents. Me
parents
too.
that don't, because the kids
Yeah.
always felt like, oh, I gotta grow up faster. So they have to interpret for these people that don't know how to, and it's a weird.
Oh, that's so hard.
I don't know how my parents paid the rent. They didn't speak a word of English, and I could tell when they talk to English, like American speak, they feel like they're getting played all the time.
I
They're
understand.
yeah, then
I
they have gotten
understand.
played,
Yeah.
And I've almost done it too. I mean, I'm in sales. I'm like, oh, you don't
Yeah.
know what you're doing? Okay, yeah, get the gold package. Like, no, it's horrible.
That's so funny.
But I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? So it's gonna happen. It's a get over society. But that's a good.
That is very honorable that you were translating insurance for your parents.
Oh, just everything.
That is crazy.
everything. And you know,
Like-
my parents opened up a fish market, which was crazy to me.
That's so cool. Wait, I didn't hear. Did you grew up in the Bay?
I grew up in the Bay Area.
You grew up
all
in
my
the
life.
Bay.
Milpitas, Hayward.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you know where Milpitas is at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When
All
I
right.
when I first moved out here, I moved here for tech, which is funny because I couldn't be farther from doing that now. But I started in Mountain View,
I started in tech too. Yeah.
but I lived in Mountain View, so
Well, that's really techy.
yeah. So I lived in Mountain View. I worked at a dating app startup in San Jose, Silicon Valley. And then my brother lived in Milpitas and Sunnyvale and all that, so I know that area.
It's very techy.
Yeah,
Very,
very tech.
very Asian. A lot of Asian grocery stores.
It's
think.
cute though. I have warm feelings now towards it. At the time I was like, I hate this. Everyone's a family and I'm just a young single person that wants friends,
Yeah.
This is so boring.
But I
you know?
imagine there was, you're definitely right. There's definitely a lot of families in that Mountain View area. But I imagine there had to be like single tech people there.
But they were just not my kind of people, you know, like
describe them, Kelly Kaufman.
like Patagonia, like, you know, tan khakis, like just very granola basic techie, like make six figures, but I mean, that's cool. You make six figures, but
is it really
like,
cool though? Is it really
I would love to
cool?
make six figures. I mean,
Do they throw that at you? Like, hey, I got the, you know, I'm rocking with the six figures there, you know?
like they're just good at like kind of communicating it in a way without saying it, which is honestly kind of an art, I feel.
Yeah, girls do
Yeah.
it with their boyfriends all the time.
What do you mean?
Like, I'll ride in an Uber and like, I felt like we're just because I'm flirty when I talk, but I'm not trying to like do anything. But like I feel like they'll just find like this really smooth way of bringing up they have a boyfriend.
Oh.
And I'm just like,
Oh,
man, I
I
wasn't
do
even
that.
hollering at you.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking like, was I hollering at you? Like, I'm not hollering, but like it's like whatever. No, I'm great. you know?
I definitely do that. I definitely do that. I can't speak for why, you know, they do it, but when I've been in situations where I'm like,
It
kind of,
helps, though, right?
they kind of need to drop a hint here, so some boundaries some friend zoning starts to happen.
It's an exposure too, because you can tell off the guy's face how much they're into you when you say that, and they're like, they look all hurt. But I think some of that hurt just might be like, I wasn't hollering at you, or, you know what I mean? So it could be a two-way street. But I definitely feel it's one of those conversational weapons women have, which is a right. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's
Protection.
It's a revealer, you know. But it's a slick approach for sure.
What's like the most slick kind of conversational dynamic you've had where you're like, damn, that was smooth, it wasn't awkward?
You know, I've seen some crazies. I was at this grocery store one time, and this guy, people walking in. This guy just, this couple ran off with this full cart of groceries, and I'm like, whoa! And this guy was yelling at them, like, "Hey, come back, and I'll pay for your groceries." And everyone in the line was just standing. I'm like, what? And then the guy was just like, bro, don't do this, man. Don't make us. Don't do that. Just come back, and I'll pay for him. And the dude came back.
What?
Yeah, it was what? And I'm walking out.
That is
As
crazy.
he's walking the cart back, and the guy's like, how much is it? And he was telling the security to chill. And the security dude was chilling out. It was the
Wow.
most amazing thing I seen. I'm like, whoa. I don't know if that's relative, but
That feels like a totally different.
that's probably very different. Yeah. I'm not really good at those like comparisons. I don't know, but that was like an impactful.
But yeah, wow. In
smooth
general,
moment from that dude. 'Cause I thought about that dude's character after that. Like, yo, that was smooth, bro. Like, that's a really good karma banker, Philip Count type of.
yeah. I wouldn't have trusted that. I would have been like, oh, he's trying to get me to come back so I get arrested.
But he wasn't
You know?
part of the Safeway.
No, I know, but he could have
So
been
you
trying to
just thought
help.
He was like,
He could have been trying to help
okay.
the security people. Yeah. Oh my God, I love Safeway. I miss
I like
Safeway.
Safeway. I like their bakery
yeah.
section.
Yeah, their bakery is pretty.
It's slept on. It's pretty damn good.
It's slept on.
Meaning
Is that a term?
people aren't aware of it as they should be.
Oh, yes. Okay.
They're sorry,
No, yeah.
some
That makes sense. No, that makes
know, yeah.
sense. Yeah. I'm not good with the terms and the abbreviations
no, I
and
know.
all
Well,
that.
you know the tech world, Kelly. You know, tech world, Kelly. You know. It's like Mountain Viewish. No. What were we talking about before that though? Why did I bring that up?
We were talking,
Oh, about the Safeway dude. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about the whole girls bring up their boyfriends and all that. I respect you for the comedy scene because you push super tough, man. You're definitely. I feel like when I watch your stories, you support people's shows and you're out there. You come from the New York comedy scene. What is? And I felt like mainly maybe you're more in the San Francisco area comedy of open mics, right?
Yeah, well actually I didn't start out in New York. I'm from there, but
Okay.
I was always too scared to do comedy over there. I might have done like one or two mics, but that was it. That was pretty soul crushing in and of itself. But from that I did meet like some comics, like, which is crazy, that I still talk to today. But I started out here a little over a year ago, and I love it. Basically, so it's kind of crazy. I was really depressed, and I like had one really bad therapist. And so I decided that all therapists were bad. So I like just got fixated on, I'm going to get a life coach. I'm going to get a Tony Robbins kind of person that's going to help me. This was before I had any mental illness diagnoses, like anything, you know. And so I went to this life coach, and I was saying all these really like depressing things, and she just couldn't stop laughing. Like, she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I don't mean to laugh at you, but no, it's really sad. It's just like how you talk about things and like what you're saying. It's like really funny. I think you should try stand up. And at the time, like, that wasn't funny, and she was horrible, and she kind of like ruined my life, that fucking bitch.
She ruined your life?
Like, she ruined like 2 years of my life, like
Off the advice that she
yeah
did? Okay.
Well, it's a
But you
whole
entertained
story.
her for 2 years? Like, you went to her for 2
Yeah, I was really unwell.
You're
It's
loyal.
it's funny. I mean, I feel like you could probably relate to this. Like, when you're not mentally well, like, you stay in relationships, like what any kind of relationship, like romantic, professional. Not all people, but at least me, like, you know, just stay, like, I know this person isn't helping me, but for some reason there's some kind of like crutch that makes me feel safe. Like, there's some kind of like emotional buffer that's keeping me from feeling like I'm doing as bad as I'm doing. Like, I'm not doing as bad as I'm
For sure.
thinking by having this person in my life. But for some reason that like stuck in me, like the whole stand-up thing. And then I saw this movie called Obvious Childs. Do you know that indie film with Jenny Slade about a stand-up comedian? And she was like a brunette with brown eyes, and she's also Jewish. And I was like, maybe I could do this, you know? And I don't know. And then a couple of years ago, like out here, I do like a mic or two, like every 4 to 6 months. And I was like, one day I just was like, okay, like, are you going to do this, or are you going to like just kind of like be just like your dentist that's like, I do comedy and does what you do? Like, because anyone can do that. That's not like doing a career, you know? And then it was like last summer, yeah, it's been like a little over a year now that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and started taking it seriously.
And what's serious? What was the difference in uptick in frequency of open micing and all that?
I feel like I'm still till this day like nowhere near on the level of the people in my scene that really grind, you know, or they do 2-3 a day. I've never been able to do that because I just I have a full-time job. I work at 7 a.m. almost every day, and then I'm also a college student. So
Okay, wow.
yeah, so for me, like, grinding is like 5 to 6, sometimes 5 to 11 to 12 times a week, but now it's more. Yeah, I think I've gotten better with not comparing myself to others, but I'm always kind of hesitant to be like, I'm a grinder, you know, when I
It's
know
good.
everyone else how much they do.
It's good to compare yourself to that level of grinding. I think everyone does it. I do it. I do like maybe 3 to 5 open mics a week. So it's like,
That's good.
but it's, thank you. And I think what you do is amazing. But what my point is, you could do 17 open mics a week, and no disrespect, you should do 17 open mics a week.
I know what you're gonna say.
But if
yeah.
you don't, like, it's good to make the impact that you do make. Like, some people are really good at networking when they're there. And so, again, another pursuit of happiness moment. That guy took less pee breaks to make more phone calls. So it's like,
Oh, I don't remember that.
you know, yeah, like he said he didn't drink water during his work days because he didn't have as much time as the other interns, because he had a kid he had to go pick up. So he would just do like wild stuff, like not use the bathroom and not drink water, and that cut out like that gave him 17 minutes extra a day. That gave him something. So he just it was like,
I could definitely take a tip from that guy because I like pee way too often at work. Yeah.
Like, and sometimes when you just pee, you're like, yo, I can tell I'm gonna have to pee again, like, because I wasn't relaxed when I did it, and they're still like, you gotta be, because it sucks to like stress when you pee because you don't really get all the pee out. This is good pee conversation. I'm just being honest. This is good advice. Like, guys, pee regularly and relax.
It's a real thing though. Like I also have OCD, so like one of my tics is like I obsess and overanalyze like internal physical sensations and like emotions and stuff. So like I will just like, peeing is one of those things where I will get so crazy about it. Like I'll like move my arm and I'll be like, fuck, do I have to pee? Like I have to go again, you know? And like,
it's an again
just so I need to get help.
But when you pee, I like how like when you pee, you just think about peeing.
Oh yeah, it's so nice. You know? It's such a good feeling.
I like how your brain can teach you, like, you can just reset, bro. Because the peeing is showing you that.
Yeah.
You know, and it like those little things make me stop stressing sometimes. Like, hey, why did my brain just stop? Obviously, this problem can't be that big if I just forgot about it during peeing. You know, or just something like that. So like
it's
your
like
body,
meditation.
Your body needs little restarts. Like I'll do ice baths or sauna jacuzzis.
Nice.
If you're stressed out, like just reset your body. But back to the open mic frequency, I just felt like you can make an impact. You can come with a great set. You write at home. You know, maybe you write more jokes because you're not going to open mics. Even if you're not hitting as open mics, I don't think that's a determining factor, because I've seen a lot of people do it and burn out and then wonder why. Like, you know, you got, like, if you like going, then go. If you love it. Like, and I so much express that. Like, if you love just being out there networking, like, man, just do it. But if you're struggling to go, like, don't go. Like, charge your battery and get your love up, and then you will want to go at some point, you know, because it's your whole life.
Yeah,
but it doesn't got to be all at once. You know?
Yeah, you mean like if you want to do it as a career,
at
like
17,
finding your balance, like finding your flow, what works for you.
You don't just get out of bed and start running 100 miles an hour. Like, you know, you get out, you warm up, you know, you might go for a jog, you start, you know, and next thing you know, you're in the habit of running every day.
I really appreciate you saying that, because I feel like there's like a capitalistic grind culture that's
it's a lie.
Yeah, but it's infiltrated like artistic careers as well, where there's this whole thing of like, yeah, you got to be doing like 17 to 30 mics a week, and that's the only way you're gonna like have a great career and all this stuff, and it's just not true.
But a great career is not everything, and you could have a great
whatever
career.
You want to achieve.
You could have a great career, but that's not everything in life. And I see a lot of people who have great careers have heart attacks, like Martin Lawrence, and have a stroke because he's doing too many movies at once. Like, you know, I think there's too much of a thing about having and being great. Like, you don't got to be great. You know, you really, I'm just being, you don't. Like, you really do. Do you like your life? That's the win, man.
Yeah.
And then money, it don't fix all that. And I've seen it in the music. It don't fix nothing. It just exposes your character, bro. Like, you can get it without working hard and not be the Dave Chappelle. But hey, like, let's have a Dave Chappelle so we can compare ourselves and strive for better. But you're not going to be Dave Chappelle, so don't try. Like, that's just a really, you know what I mean? Like,
you know, it's so funny. You're making me think of like when I get negged by guys at shows and stuff, and they'll be like,
you get negged?
Yeah, not so much anymore as
what does that mean?
Yeah, it's like a new term. It used to happen with male comics, but I like straighten them out so it doesn't happen anymore. But it will happen with audience members sometimes. I made a sketch about it actually. Like, it's funny. I think it's funny, but basically, you know, they'll be like, oh, they'll come up to you after your show and be like, hey, you were pretty great up there, you know, and they'll like start off with compliments, and then slowly but surely they'll be like, but you're no Dave Chappelle. So you gotta keep grinding though, because, you know, those jokes, they're a little loose. You got to tighten them up. And then at the very end, they're just like, you're really cute. You want to go on a date?
Whoa, right after?
Yeah. It's like a whole mind trip. Like,
It's pretty sleek.
yeah, it hasn't worked. And then they'll take out their phone and be like, let's follow each other on Instagram. And they'll follow me right in front of me. And they're like, but wait, you're not following me. I'm like, because I don't want to follow you.
That's honest.
I don't like that. I don't like when people get tangy about you following them or like, why don't you follow me? But what, anyways.
Well,
but I get that a lot.
Those are people who sit on their couch a lot and don't really have a life, because there's a lot of like that's like that. Like that is exactly what I'm talking about. Like you don't have to hit up 17 open mics a week if you're gonna act like that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you might be doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
Hitting up that many and then doing that and being creepy. Like you could just network better, you know, and not be the whole, because like it is a little weird seeing comics in this gang, because I kind of look at them like, damn, they are desperate. I'm not trying to like bash comics and make myself look good, but I'm being honest, like y'all come off desperate. Like my advice, like don't
what
be
context? Desperate in what context?
around the women that be around comedy. Like it's a constant like hit, constant like, what are you doing? And it's just being so obvious about it. And I'm trying to tell these dudes, like, bro, that is no game. Like, don't be so freaking obvious. Like, why? And why is that attractive? You just liking everything but the doormat. Like, bro, like you don't even know. Like this person literally is talking about they have thoughts about killing people, and you're like, hey, well, we can go out though. Like, are you
There's like no
real?
self-awareness.
No questions about it. Not even trying to find red flags. And then so I see it. I'm like, yo, these, because I'm around artists, and artists can be a little desperate too. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, they both have their own ways of being desperate, but could be
Desperate, needy, insecure. That's the glue that makes a stand-up comedian. Maybe not all of us. Maybe I should just speak for myself.
No, but I see that. So that kind of wants you. Well, why is that? Why desperate, needy? Why is that, Kelly Kaufman? Explain to me. That's a good premise.
Well, I don't think all stand-ups are like that, but
a good general amount.
But a good amount. You know, it's like I do think about this kind of often. Like it is a hard balance between, you know, because comedy is genuinely an art form. It's genuinely a craft. So it's not like, it's just like the thing where people are just kind of going up there to spew their shit, like they're making art out of it, you know, like, but I guess, I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're making a lot of sense. There's a lot of views about comedy, and you were telling us yours.
Yeah, like I guess like stand-ups are like very deeply sensitive, creative people that want to express themselves through comedy, because there's usually some really fucked up shit back there, and like that's kind of what espouses like the interesting, unique point of views, like to even be able to like look at something fucked up in a funny way, where maybe the average person, you know, would just kind of let themselves be eaten alive by it. But also like I have totally been eaten alive by shit. So like I'm not trying to say I'm like better than someone that's not
darkened thoughts. I read on this podcast the other day, like. Read on this pod. Is that a word?
I know, but I know what you meant.
So yeah, thank you. But and this dude was talking about how like there's these spirits that sit on us when we stress. And it makes so much sense, because it feels like an energy drain. And it's like, why do so many things ruin the perfect day? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I just see it with people, because they almost want to go crazy, because like they just can't have this calm day. Like things just tend to ruin at these little nit. And it's like, I just noticed with me, the timing's almost uncanny. How I just have these little pockets of peace that I'm trying to set aside with my day, and I can't get them because like little things keep ruining. And I heard that, and I'm like, that makes so much sense, that there might be these fourth, fifth dimension. I know it sounds crazy.
Oh, I believe it. I believe in that world. I've seen it.
And they sit on you when you stress.
No, I saw one.
No, it's.
I saw one.
Not crazy.
Yeah, I saw one sitting on this is definitely whatever, it's crazy to say, but it is real. I used to live in a sober living. I'm not sober, but I was like, when I was in like very heavy mental health treatment, like they just put you in sober living with the people in rehab as well. Cause like back in 2017 or whatever, like, you know, mental health was not like recognized as like a legitimate like illness, which is
By
insane.
general population. Well, general population didn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was like, oh, you're going to rehab for mental health issues. Like, what are you trying to make up? What conspiracy is this? You know, that's like when I was in the prime of like going to my mental health, and like, so I lived in sober living, and I had a roommate in my room, and like she had severe PTSD and trauma, and like she would have like these PTSD dreams, like night dreams, and wake me up, and it was like really scary. And one time legit, like I saw a demon like sitting on top of her, like while she was having one of those really bad dreams. It was very scary. Yeah,
I'm a complete believer that you can allow yourself to see these interdimensional being hop in the fourth to the third dimension. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy, because you have to understand fourth and fifth dimensional.
do you
world.
understand it? What do you
Like,
know about
this
it?
is how I understand it, right? Like there are atoms that make us, right? To me, these atoms are little solar systems. They're just little balls of energy with protons and nucleus just spinning around them. And so I feel like we're like the atoms in our solar system for something bigger. So these are actually just atoms for like a hot dog at Costco in a fifth dimension. You know what I mean? But we make up something bigger. But also in a fourth and fifth dimension plane, it's really just a different frequency that you can't think, because there's like 2D, which is like a paper plane flat, and there's 3D, which is us, and then there's like 4D, which is like a higher dimension, where, because I'm really into aliens, where like
That's cool.
dimensions can kind of see us, but we can't see them. You know what I mean? So maybe it's hard to use. Again, I'm really bad at comparing things. I don't know how to compare that, but I don't know. Maybe it's like we're looking through a tinted window, like they can see us, but we can't see them. You know?
Yeah,
And that
tinted
window is
window.
like a dimensional plane or something.
Yeah.
Or,
That's so interesting.
you know,
I wish I had more conversations like this.
but it's
They're
fact.
very like stimulating.
I mean, it's real. You know, I think we're going into that evolution where we'll become like aliens, like we won't have genitals and stuff, because like, I think
Oh,
that's what
really?
I think this whole trans and LGBT movement for me is kind of about, is really just about recognizing how imperfect humanity is by having sex and genitals, and by taking that out and just procreating will literally get rid of lust and greed and this competitiveness, you know what I mean? And we'll just want to coexist and be on a higher plane, a higher dimension, a higher consciousness. And you can't really get to that without that, I think, without all of our brains being connected, whether it's Neuralink or what. I know it's going to go off the spectrum, but like, I think when we're all tapped into each other's thought process is where we really raise up in humanity, because like, well, no, like, okay, you're not thinking fucked up, bro. We love you. Everyone loves you. Like, oh my god, you can feel everyone's love. And you're like, why am I gonna hate myself? I don't need anxiety no more. Anxiety's not a thing. I have so many other positive thoughts killing that anxiety, so I can't even have a chance to think about, did that person not, oh no, it's oh, you love, oh my god, all you think about is that moment where I gave you something. Wow, okay, I didn't know. But when I talk to people, I get that, like, oh, I kind of thought you didn't like me, bro. I'm like, nah, bro, I kind of respect you, dude. Like, you be doing, it's like, oh shit, I didn't. And then you feel this higher consciousness with that person. So I felt like with Neuralink and just stuff coming into play, like, we're gonna have this oneness, you know. I don't know. I know
I'm
it's
for
crazy.
the oneness
It's just
for sure.
Crazy thought process, but I really feel like all this kind of means something. That's why we're having these conversations about trans and LGBT and gay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, I'm supportive. I'm definitely an ally of LGBTQ AI plus. If I said all of them,
There's changing now, right? No, it's changed a little bit. You know.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Like bringing that up because you asked me what one of your questions like that you sent me to prepare for this interview was like what I think is annoying about comedians. Do you remember that?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I was like thinking about that because no one's ever asked me that. And, you know, there's really only one thing that I can think of, which is that I'm just amazed at like this wave of like free speech heroes that think that they're being like some moral social crusader, but all they're spewing is like transphobia, sexism, racism, anti-Semitism, like et cetera, you know. I just feel like people like Charlie Kirk and like Joe Rogan and Trump and all these people, they've like molded this like mainstream like male youth culture, you know, that like kind of glorifying Republican ideals is like cool, you know, and normal. And it really annoys me to see it in comedy. I think like I'm really surprised, you know, living in San Francisco and, you know, which is one of the most liberally progressive cities in America. You know, I would have thought that there would be more male comics, you know, being punk against that, you know, and
for sure.
being.
I see it.
I don't really see that actually. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm surprised about. I feel like I'm surprised that there are so many male comics in my scene who are great guys that I like a lot, like personally, and that are even my friends. I'm just strictly talking about
We're not gonna call
the
it
stuff.
out.
Oh no,
Let's not do that.
no,
Let's not start.
no.
And I hope you don't think that
Even
I was.
if you put a gun to my head, I wouldn't say any names because it's not about that. I'm not
not about
trying to call out any one person. It's just like the general.
And I hope
culture.
you don't think I was bashing it earlier. When I
No.
was, okay, yeah, because I was just
No.
talking about how it's enlightenment thought about what's going on because it's really about the future advance of humanity that we acknowledge all of this.
Yeah, well, that's what made me think about it.
Yeah,
You know,
I see what you're saying. I mean, I like Joe Rogan's pod, but I don't agree with everything that's on there. Just like with political candidates, I like certain things. I don't like everything. You know what I mean? That's just me. You know, I don't like choosing extreme sides. That's I feel like politically you get to extreme corruption. You know what I mean? You gotta be biased on everyone. You know, you gotta have likes and dislikes. Because just choosing blindly, I'm just not with that. But with Joe and Trump, they're just old. You know, it's like every generation has a society that's old. Like, oh, I don't know about this whole like races going to high school together. It's like, bro, you're all like, we can go. In your time, it was weird. I agree with you, old guy, because the cultures were a lot different. But we all grew up on the same like heroes now. So I'm cooler with these races. I want to go to high school with. I want to feel equal. But with the whole trans, I just think it's something hard that they just don't get. You know what I mean? Society develops. That happens in a lot of societies, and like a lot of like, because Indian cultures, they have like a word for them, and it's kind of called both.
they have a what for them?
A word that would kind of be called for people that was like LGBTQ, you know, AI, in certain Native American cultures or something like that. But it was a word that was described as both. Like they have a spirit of both. So like they would make good relationship advice givers within the culture or the village or whatever, or the group, you know, and they would have certain powers that other people just couldn't understand. So there's different cultures and societies that have looked at things very differently, because you know, you can't look at it as a gift. Because a lot of my friends that are trans and gay, they just have great insights on stuff, especially with dating advice. They're like, well, a lot of my gay friends give the best dating advice when it comes to women. I'm like, oh, that's how she's thinking. I'm like, bro, that's how she's thinking. I'm like, what? That's, okay, that makes a lot of sense, you know. And their advice be working. A lot of my girlfriends that are just girls, they give horrible advice. Like,
That's funny.
yeah.
I try to give really good advice as a female friend.
Right, but it's tough, right? Because you don't want to sell out the whole gender.
Right, yeah.
You know? So you want to protect the gender too, like, you know?
Yeah, it depends. There's definitely like contextual elements going on.
It's a balance
For sure, yeah.
It's a balance for sure. It's funny what you said that about comedians, because I felt like for the most part, I feel like a lot of comedians are pretty
In our scene, like I'm talking specifically like male white comics.
San Francisco. I felt like, but they have definitely voiced their opinion, where some comics feel slighted, maybe that they get more opportunities than they do. I just sip on tea about that. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Who? How do they feel slighted?
like
What?
certain like I've seen certain things go down in the Bacon Network group where like
Yeah, there'd be a lot of drama
be going crazy, but I enjoy it.
Wait, we should explain what Bacon is
Yeah, so
because they
Bacon
probably don't
is
know.
a Facebook group just for comedians, and there's some interesting arguments.
Bay Area comedy
Interesting
network.
arguments that go on there, like the whole handicap accessible thing. That was like an issue recently.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh my god.
Oh God, I don't like the sound
someone
of it
use
already.
a term legless freaks on I mean, I wasn't for that. All right, I was like, yo,
That's fucked up.
That
Yeah.
was fucked up.
Yeah.
And then I just thought it was funny that no one gave Patrick his kudos, because Patrick has a wheelchair accessible venue at Alameda, we had, which was one of my favorite comedy clubs to go to. But they were bashing about how Comedy Store doesn't have a wheelchair accessible.
Oh, the Comedy
Or
Store.
the Punchline.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe
I would.
they
Yeah.
should. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
the cost. Hey, we should not argue about it on Bacon, and we should make a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
you
totally,
know? Like,
totally.
that's what we should
That's not
do.
really an argument on whether or not
Right.
that should be. It's more like how
can we get
yeah.
it done as a community and not just blame the venue, because it's an extraordinary cause. I don't think these venues have to ensure 2 drink item minimums because they want to be rich. I think they're literally trying to survive. Like Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle does a free show at the Punchline just to save them. Like,
Oh, he does. It's free.
no,
How
like
do you
when
know?
The Punchline, no, when the like years ago when the Punchline was talking about like they might not make it, Dave Chappelle did like 2 or 3 free shows for them just so they could pay their rent, catch up.
Wow, that's so nice. Yeah, because he sells out. Yeah, he
That's
sells out.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you think of that's crazy. I don't know a lot of people that just go work for free to go save a venue.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I really loved the venue and I had that kind of power.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have a little bit of power. You run this great open mic
I don't know about
on
that.
Saturdays. No, I love your posts. Part of the reason why you're here is the way you post about it, because I'm fascinated. Well, one, Kelly Kaufman, do comedians sign up for open mics and then not show up ever?
Well, I used to do. I mean, sometimes that happens. That's normal.
Is it normal? Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not like in droves of comedians signing up and not showing up kind of thing. But I used to do like the online I would do like half pre-signs, half in person, which I liked a lot. But I found that it was just it became really annoying to deal with because people would never pay attention to who commented before them, and 5 different people would be writing the same number, and then they'd show up to my mic and they'd be pissed that they don't have a spot.
They'd
And
be
then
pissed.
yeah.
They would show you anger.
Yeah, I mean, and I would tell other comedian friends about this, and they'd be like, well, why don't you just tell them how it is? And I'm like, yeah, I did. I did. I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's really fucking annoying. I'm already doing this mic for the community every Saturday.
It's a great mic.
Yeah.
I haven't been, but
I love it. I'm not trying to. Now I just do in person. Signups, and
better that way.
and I love the venue. Sabrina Delard. I don't know if that's how you say her last name, but she's the owner of this like cool wine bar on Polk Street, and she's this total MILF. That
She's a MILF? Can
yeah.
we have the name and the address, please?
well, the bar is 1519 Polk Street. Yeah, all the male comics love her. Yeah, she's really cool. And she is very supportive of the mic. She writes it on her chalkboard. She promotes it on her Instagram. So
Very proud. A woman ran open
Yeah.
mic, you know?
yeah, double woman.
Double
woman.
women.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because she's a
Well,
woman.
because she's the owner of the bar, and then I'm running the mic, I guess. So she's the owner of the venue, and I'm the owner of the mic.
Go white chromosomes, man. Don't killing it. It's a great mic. It fills up. When you did the pre-sign, filled up super fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I kind of liked the pre-sign. I liked it. It just got to a point where it was too stressful to manage, and then dealing with guys copping attitudes.
Stop
with
copping
me
an
about
attitude
it.
with Kelly, bro. You're out of pocket. Like she's throwing it on for the community. Like it really stresses people out that throw events because we have enough anxiety already, right? And then the worst thing you can do is make someone feel ungrateful. And I'm just calling you out. Like if you're being ungrateful and you're having an attitude, you're not gonna make it. Because no one likes you. I mean, that's your networking skill. That's probably why it's taking longer for you to be successful with comedy. Because a lot of it's not the attitude part, it's your coolness part. I feel that gets you jumps ahead with the comedy, with the networking. Because you go into a show and pissing off Kelly, I don't think it's helping anything. Like if she puts on a great show in the future and she promotes a great show, like you just kind of hurt yourself, right? By the way you act. Like,
I've definitely had like little boy bitches be really annoying that
I
I'm
want
like,
you to call them out so bad.
yeah,
One
where
least-
I'm just like, you are not welcome back here. Like this is why you're not getting out of the open mic circuit. Like you just think the world is doing everything to you.
Can you give us a story without mentioning a name? You don't have to.
Well, then there was like one comic that would like argue with me about, because it'd be hard because everyone would sign up so quickly and I would organize the list. And, a lot of people comment at the same time. So it would be like now, it would be like, how on Facebook it's like just now, 1 minute ago, 3 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. It would be like 3 just nows, like boom, boom, boom. And I'd be like, who the fuck did this first? So like, I'd have to make a judgment call and then message the other person and be like, hey, so-and-so got that spot. And I'd be like, nice. I'd be like, well, do you want this spot instead? And then they'd like argue with me about it. Well, no, I know I did it at this time because I didn't and then, came to my mic and called me a bitch, like on stage. So I was like, you're done. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm not saying any names.
I don't get it, Kelly. Why would someone do
So that's
that
why I
for
was
an
like-
open mic?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm just done with the
I don't think comics realize,
pre-sign.
like, we don't remember your bit, okay? What we remember is how you act.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. For me, like, dude, we've been to a bunch of open mics, all of us. We don't remember everyone's but I do remember how you were nice, if you were polite or not, if you were rude or not. I'm sorry, that sticks out. And there's shows producers there. They're not gonna put you on a show, man, if you're. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have a track record of being weird, it's gonna show up. Like, that's what these open mics for. I feel like they're personality gatherers, man, and it's like it's a great opportunity to network.
I will say though that I really love our scene. I think for the most part, everyone is really, really nice, and
Absolutely.
like they're just like the best people I've met in my life.
All right.
Yeah, and I love them. I have genuine love for comedians in our scene, and because I grew up in New York City, and I've been around truly like deeply soulless, evil people.
Me too.
And even when I visit like the city in New York and I go to the comedy scene there and I do shows over there, like people are nice, but like there's nothing like the Bay Area comedy scene. Yeah, they're just like
that's a big
so
statement.
warm. Yeah, they're so warm and kind, and I don't even have to know someone that well, but I can sit next to them on the couch and right next to them and just feel like more at home than I would like probably anywhere else.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big statement.
Yeah. I love you guys.
Hey, Bay Area's a cool place. I mean, that's why I never left. You know, I get so much out of this place. There's a lot of diversity. It's grown
Yeah.
ever since I've been here.
It's my favorite place I've lived.
There's tech, there's comedy. I think a lot of comedians have blown up from the comedy scene here, have done well for themselves. It has great venues like the Punchline, Sounds like
Yeah.
Improv. There's Tommy T's. There used to be Alameda. I thought they were a great thing. There's Cobb's. You obviously go to a lot of shows too and support. What are some of your favorite underground show producers that are? I'm sorry, I burped right there.
Yeah. Off the bat, I would definitely say Bryant Hicks, Honiton Ortiz, and Stroy Moyd. Like, I have a personal connection with those three guys. Like, I can vouch for all three of them that they're, I mean, Stroy also owns the Function Comedy Club.
First Black Owned Comedy Club.
First Black Owned Comedy Club. And they've been just so incredible to me and just a huge part of like my growth as a new comedian and giving me like endless stage time and just like genuinely like supportive, kind, like friends and mentors, you know. And so I would definitely, because Bryant Hicks runs Fluid 510, which is a hella funny production in Oakland that is on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Fluid?
Yeah, Fluid 510. Do you know it?
Terrell Big T and Brian Hicks runs that. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Or?
I thought it was just Bryant, but I could be wrong. But
I'm not
I
sure
know.
either. Don't take.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if I messed that up.
Sorry as well. I don't
Yeah.
know, but it seems like they're both involved. Very
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Safe
I'll
to
say
say
they're
that.
both involved, and then Bryant also does a show at Mesa, which is also, it used to be Copper Spoon, which was like a big
In Oakland?
hella funny venue. Yeah, on Mondays at 7.
I heard about that. Yeah, people were sad to see that.
Yeah,
come out of the
I was
yeah.
really sad about that. Yeah, but
We get sad with open mic.
I know.
Like they're meetup hubs, man.
Yeah, they're special.
And you're familiar. With
yeah. And then Honiton runs the Tuesday show, the double show, the Chat GBT show, which is really
funny
fun.
show.
Yeah. You do your set as normal, and then there's like a robot at the show, and you do a one-liner, and the robot does a one-liner,
great.
and then the audience votes like which one is better. I love him. He's great. He's like become a good friend of mine. Like, we've started doing sketches together, and
Great
like
concept.
yeah, I also like host his mics pretty often, which are fun. In terms of like mic recommendations, I would definitely say
Ooh.
The Function.
Can we go top 3
Yeah.
Kelly Kaufman's open mic favorites other than Kelly's Corner?
So The Function, Tuesday, I host the Tuesday one pretty often. What's great about it is that there are 2 shows that happen right before, and a lot of the audience stays after, which is incredible. Like, that's like your dream, you know, for an open mic, like to test out your new material or material you're trying to fix in front of a real audience, you know. Then I would, not just Tuesday, The Function is like almost every day. So I would recommend the Function open mics for sure. And then Blarney Stone is also really fun. That's run by Kat Pignati. That's at 9 p.m.
Great flyer. I see
in
that
San Francisco. And then on every last Monday of the month, I'm going to be on that show too this month. She'll do like a showcase show. And there's almost always an audience there too, which is really nice. And also, I would say, I think this is the right name, Kit Kat, run by Evan Katz at Mars Bar. That's a really fun. Yeah, that's a good one. He's very sweet, and he's coming up in the scene. And then I love Kate Carson. She runs like all the mics at Mae's Oyster House, which is awesome.
It's a great venue.
That one's by my house. I love Mae's.
It's a real pretty stage.
Yeah,
I love the
Maze
way
is so
they
cute.
set
Maze is like just so cute. And then lastly,
There's no oysters there though.
no, but you wouldn't. Once you go there, you'd be
Just
grateful.
Don't ask for oysters. 'Cause
Yeah.
they'll look at you crazy.
Yeah, no oysters.
It's just like,
it's
we
just,
don't got it.
It's just an ironic
It's
name.
just a name. Maybe they had it back in the
yeah,
day.
yeah. I don't know.
I'm an oyster lover, so I asked.
Yeah.
I love raw oysters.
You wouldn't want to eat them there, though.
Probably not.
Yeah, you would not. The floors are sticky. The last place I would say is Edinburgh Castle Pub. I love that.
Wait,
that
what?
place, yeah, I know. They're definitely a cum dungeon. Like I didn't make that term up, but that is,
Dungeon?
yeah. I don't know who
What's a cum dungeon?
Lee Wyatt or
Is that when
some.
the floors are sticky? Is that what you're saying?
It's just dirty and gross, and it's in like a really bad part of the Tenderloin.
That sounds like
It,
comedy. to
it
me.
smells like when you walk in, it legit smells like a pet store. Like all the animals were let loose, you know, like
not
the.
sexy.
But I love Edinburgh. Okay, like these are just objective facts about the venue, but it's very warm and supportive. Mondays is James Yuakawa.
My God, James Yuakawa, man.
I love James. I went yesterday and I loved it. And then on Sunday, Dom, I think
Dominic
is his
Sims or something?
Yeah.
I see that name on there, yeah.
Yeah, I just got to know him. He's a nice guy.
It's good to host these mics because your name sticks out.
Yeah.
The network, which is good for recognition, and I'm sure show producers see that. So,
I like hosting.
hey, you know what? We've been chatting for an hour now, man.
We have? It doesn't feel like it.
Well, that means you had a good time there, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you can come back. We got a lot of content out, so I think we got to go pretty soon.
Okay,
Is that
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Is there anything you
It's
want to
your-
shout out?
It's your podcast.
It's our pod, you know, for our content. Is there anything you want to shout out? You got some shows coming up?
Oh.
Plug the open mic.
Yeah, I have a show. Where's my phone?
Hmm.
Shit. I am going to just try to remember. I have a show this Thursday. It's the Coit.
Probably won't be out by then, the pod,
Wait.
but okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have shows coming up. Okay, so this is what I can say. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's Kelly. Do you say the @ when you say your handle? I never know. Do you say @
Good question.
because like I feel stupid, like I'm like @ Kelly Kaufman _
I think when you're on camera, you say it, but a lot of times I don't. When I'm in person, just talking to someone, like
Okay.
I don't say that. I'm just noticing myself. Like I don't.
because
say
I feel like a stupid millennial that's like saying the @ but
like
it's
with the Cash App
yeah.
sign, do you got to see the dollar sign? You know what I mean?
Oh, right. No,
just
no.
like, or with Venmo, do you got to?
True. Well, I guess I kind of do. Well, it's just to be safe,
Right.
it's Kelly Kaufman _ for both TikTok and Instagram. I post about all my shows there, so come out and support.
She does content as well. Don't sell yourself short. I see you do content with Mark
yeah.
Neuer on there. You got some funny skits, man. I love the skits.
I do sketches, so check those out. Give them a like, share them. Helps me out.
I gotta come out to your open mic because
Yeah, I'd love that.
And it's just in this. I'm not gonna have excuses. I'm coming out to the city more. I'm going to the
Good.
function more.
Go to the function.
Try to go
yeah.
on a night where you host, man, and support. It really is a really good mic and a great fixture for the community, man. So shout out Stroy Moy for that, boy. That's
Hella.
going crazy.
Yeah.
man. Going crazy. Kelly Kaufman, I thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We
This
could
was
talk
so
for
fun.
hours. I could tell, man. This is a cool comedian girl I know from the SF Bay Area. Like I said, a lot of respect because you're doing your thing. I see the contributions that you give to the community, and that's why you're like. A lot of people ask, and I'm like, "Are you gonna do comedy longer?" I'm like, who are you? Know what I mean? But like, you really are here for the work you put into the community, and it's respect. You got a lot of people rapport. A lot of people love you, man.
Thank
like,
you.
Just please keep putting on for the community, man.
Okay, I will.
Because the open mics you do are great, and you support people's shows and your stories, and you got like a good nucleus of comedians that you like to hang with too, and you promote that, and that's dope. 'Cause
What?
you got like a group of comedians that you like to promote and post
Yeah.
with, and that's
Yeah.
important for us to see that because it's like
I'm definitely a fan, like a fan of other comedians.
top 3 upcoming comedians before we get out of here.
Okay.
Who are your favorite top 3 underground?
Sure.
Not known,
Oh, in our scene, yeah,
in our
for
scene,
sure.
local, you hang with,
Yes. Top 3. First, I would say Celeste Winter. Do you know who that is?
I think I've seen her at a show recently with Miles Beck. He put on the Naked Cat Comedy Showcase.
Oh yeah, I just think that she is so talented and like original and funny and hot and like I have no doubt she's going to blow up, I think. And she's also a friend of mine. I love her. I'm so in awe of her. I love Deepanshu Jha. Do you know who that is?
Oh, I'm not too familiar.
Oh, yeah. Deepanshu Jha. He is just so funny. And damn, the third person, God, there's so many. I would say Marcus Howard. Do you know who that is? Oh, Marcus Howard is so good. Brilliant, like funny, like does a lot of like social commentary, a lot of like political stuff too, like observational, like social stuff, but like that's like actually funny, which I feel is not an easy thing to do, you know? But he like, well, is actually funny about it. And like, yeah, those three I really like. There's so many people I'm a big fan of in the scene where I'm just like, I feel like a fan. Like I'm just like, oh my God, we're on the same show together. I can't wait. Don't talk to me. I need to watch their set, you know?
That's so dope.
Yeah.
That's a lot of respect you can tell when you have for someone. You're like, yo, don't talk to me, man.
Yeah.
I'll watch their set. We're going to get out of here. Create Studios podcast with the homegirl, Kelly Kaufman. Please go check her out. One of her shows, one of her mics.
Follow me.
Follow her. We're out. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Bye. That was so much fun.
Thanks.